And joining us now is Mr. Tariq Malik. He's a managing editor at space.com. My man, it's great to see you here again.
A pleasure, thanks.
We have so much exciting stuff, especially when it comes to SpaceX to look ahead to. Falcon 9 launch tomorrow. Everyone is hyped up about it because there's something very unique about tomorrow's launch when compared to a lot of the other Falcon 9 launches out of SpaceX. Tell us what's so special about coming out tomorrow.
That's right. So tomorrow, SpaceX is going to launch its first reused rocket. That is their Falcon 9 rocket. They launched it almost exactly a year ago, April 8th, 2016. They launched a cargo mission for NASA. Now they have it on the pad again to launch a commercial satellite for SES communications. So this is a huge deal. If they can pull this off, they'll make a huge leap forward for reusing rockets, which they hope will drive down the price of spaceflight for everybody and help them achieve their own goals of maybe one day using reusable rockets to put people on Mars.
Okay, so they want to land this too. So after a launch, then what sort of refurbishing needs to go on to make sure that you can launch it again? Is there a lot of money and effort that is devoted into that? I mean, with the reusable rockets, the whole one of the benefits, right, is supposed to be a lessening of the costs.
Yeah, and what SpaceX wants to do is to be able to kind of turn these flights around really, really quickly. Now, it's been a year because this is the first time they've had to do this. They've test fired it at their Texas facility. They've test fired it on the launch pad earlier this week just to make sure that this rocket is ready to go. They also gave it a really just in-depth inspection to make sure everything from soup to nuts is completely ready to fly again. So this one got maybe a little bit more extra attention, and if they can keep repeating this over and over again, they hope to standardize that process. I mean, they want to launch every 2 weeks. Reused rockets are not this year.
Wow.
And so if they're going to scale that and hit that kind of launch rate, maybe even faster than that, fueling it up and launching it the next day, they're going to have to refine that process even further.
So tell some of our viewers who may be otherwise unfamiliar, why is it so crucial to have this kind of sustainability model? Why can't you just spend whatever, a few $1 billion, tens of billions of dollars, just reuse rockets the way the world history of rocketry has done up until now?
Well, the very first reusable spacecraft was NASA's space shuttle, and that was also supposed to fly every 2 weeks, launching everything from satellites and people to parts of space stations into orbit. It didn't really work out that way. NASA maybe got 5 or 6 in a given year, not the rate that you want. SpaceX wants to hit that once every 2 weeks rate, and to do that and to do it affordably, they need to perfect this technology. They are kind of at the forefront of this orbital use. They have competitors with Jeff Bezos and Blue Origin, and some other people are trying to catch up with United Launch Alliance and Airbus and Ariane space in Europe. So they're kind of leading this trend to make it more affordable so that more companies can afford that, more people can afford a business in space, and then they can pursue their own goals of putting people on Mars.
And I know that we're going to be covering it live here on Cheddar tomorrow, the launch, which will be very exciting. So I know we love watching live streams of that. And so for people who tune in who may not know what to expect, are we expecting the rocket to also land in this kind of signature pencil style, which is incredibly impressive?
Yeah, so SpaceX hopes to land this one on their drone ship. This was the first one to land on a drone ship last year, too.
Like in the ocean, right?
Yeah,
out
out in the ocean.
Wow.
Yeah, they have this robotic drone ship. Everything is like robots with SpaceX. So the rocket can land itself. It will land on a ship that is driving itself out in the ocean. Then they have a recovery crew out there. SpaceX will say, and they say this every launch, that landing the rocket isn't critical to the mission itself. Their mission for this flight is to put SES satellites in orbit now. That is like their primary goal. They would like to see this rocket, succeed in both its launch and its landing. But their main goal is to match their customer. SES did get a discount for this flight because it is a kind of a test flight for SpaceX. But right now, they're hoping to kind of get through this milestone, make some history with this rocket, and then see what the next step is, fly another used rocket maybe this year.
I was going to say, sticking that landing always makes it look pretty, right?
Yeah, it's a sight to see. So.
Also, too, when it comes to the challenges, you had hit on some of those associated with this, but after this happens, I mean, is this a watershed moment? In what regard? I mean, the first one to do this, but then every launch from here, would we expect that it's going to be a reusable rocket, or is this maybe just a test run to see how it goes, and then in the future, slowly they'll be rolled out?
Well, you can expect that SpaceX will take some time to see how this rocket fared on its second flight again.
Yeah.
But Elon Musk has said that they have already launched the last rocket that they're going to throw away, and that was earlier this year. So they're done throwing away rockets, and so they want to either refurbish and refly these ones, or see what else they can do with these boosters. They have a new rocket called the Falcon Heavy that they want to test fly this year. That has 3 landable components to it,
right?
And so So perfecting this technology, launching all the way into space, managing that aerodynamic or re-entry, touching down on either a land platform or an ocean drone, being able to perfect that will be key to building that bigger rocket and then their future plans.
Do we know if these goals, if these goals of sustainability are also being emulated by other companies like the ones that Jeff Bezos is involved with, or some other competitors as well?
Yeah, so Jeff Bezos at Blue Origin, they have already built their own rocket, the New Shepard, for suborbital flight. They're building a bigger one called New Glenn, which promises to be even bigger than SpaceX's big rocket, Falcon Heavy.
Of course, yeah.
All of those rockets are designed to be reused with this vertical landing. They have a kind of a different take. Instead of landing legs that fold down like SpaceX rockets have, they have them kind of inside the rocket, and they pop out like a 1950s sci-fi robot, which is pretty cool. In Europe, Airbus is designing ways to reuse rockets. United Launch Alliance and their Vulcan rocket, they're looking to try to explore some reusable concepts there. And then in China, which this just came out earlier this month, they have an idea to reuse their rockets in the future. Not near term, like in the 2020s or so, but that design as it was laid out earlier looks like it's going to use parachutes to slow boosters down and some airbags to cushion the engine landing.
Fascinating stuff, Tarek. We appreciate you being here. Tarek Malik, he's the managing editor at space.com. Thank you very much.
A pleasure.
Good to see you again.